Okay, wow, we're live. I'm feeling like rusty. I feel like we took a week off last week, and now I don't like. I'm seeing Robert again for the first time in a long time. We're going live. We're taking questions. The Bourbon Brothers podcast is back after a 1 week hiatus, and
There we go.
me, Justin Hall, Supplement Snoop, with my partner in crime, Robert Chinetsky, the supplement engineer. It's good to see your face again, brother. I missed you last week. I know some stuff comes up, but we're back now, and we're ready to talk about all kinds of random bullshit this week. So
all kinds of good stuff, man. Yeah, last week was a apology to the listeners. That was on me for or actually no, it was on the Firestone Automotive Service, who I brought my two originally for a wheel bearing that needed to get replaced because I've been hearing this like high pitched whining sound for a couple of months, and my father-in-law was in town when he heard it a couple months back, and he says,
"There's a joke there. There's a joke there somewhere."
Yeah. He says that sounds like a busted, wheel bearing. He said I had that happen on my car, not too long ago, and they had this exact same model we did, or at the time they did. So I brought it to one car place here, and they kept it for 8 hours the entire damn day, and I would call them like every couple of hours, like, "What's going on? What's going on? You've had it since 7:30 this morning." And they said, "Oh no, we took it. We don't hear any high pitched whining or anything." They said it's not. They said we don't look like, maybe it's just some inner wear wear. I bring it over to Firestone. They say, "Oh yeah, it's you got a busted bearing plus the back two tires are bald, or they're like this far away from like splitting." I said, "Okay." So I dropped the car off. Yeah, exactly. So that other place, Service One Automotive Care, has lost my business forever. Firestone here, I go drop my car off. They get it all done. Not cheap at all. Like the wheel bearing itself was $900. Then I had two tires on top of that and labor costs and everything.
So they get when people see a sponsored ad coming up on our podcast from now on, you'll know why.
Yeah, exactly. Get that car. So I got that taken care of the weekend after Halloween. And so driving the car, everything's fine. The high-pitched squealing is gone. Brakes are working nice. 3 days after I get the car back, 5 different warning lights pop on. So we've got the anti-lock brake system, the traction control goes off, one other one that I have no idea what the hell it does, and then the blind spot monitor goes. And and the brakes starting to feel kind of loose. Like I have to push it in like maybe another couple of centimeters to an inch before it actually starts to, you can catch it. So I'm thinking, I mean, the car's 7.5 years old. You get loose brakes kind of, sort of, but this is more than usual.
Sure.
I bring it back to Firestone after a couple of days because sometimes like the lights would just flick on for a second and then they would turn off. Or if I'd turn the car on and off, then all the lights, the warning lights would go away.
Electrical thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's maybe that, but how is that related to the brakes? Because the brakes are hydraulics, so it's all of that stuff. Right. I'm thinking, bring it back to Firestone. I get there last, what was it, Wednesday morning or Tuesday, whatever day it was, when we were supposed to do the podcast. And I said, look, this is not normal. Bring it in. They said, all right, well, I get there first thing in the morning. They said, okay, but you're going to have to wait. Our best tech guy doesn't get in until 9. I thought, you got to be fucking... So why did you tell me to get here at 7:30 to fix the shit? Because I called him the night before.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So I sit there. There's a McDonald's right across the parking lot. I go hunker down there and work. And they eventually call me back. And they have it for the entire part of the morning. And I walk back in and they say, oh, it was just a loose sensor. Something just got jarred loose when we were putting everything back together. And I thought... something about that doesn't
the brake right. Part's still kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, so you're telling me one single sensor. I said there was nothing with the brakes or nothing, the wheel bearing or the back tires or anything. He said, no, just one little sensor that we needed to fix. And I said, okay, do I need to pay you anything? Like he said, oh no, that's on us to get it done since we were the last ones to touch it. I said, okay, good, thanks. I said, I'm glad they fixed it. The car's working fine now. But something about what he's telling me doesn't add up because 5 different warning lights are linked to one single sensor. I don't know a whole lot about cars, but I'm pretty sure that's not true, especially when you got that many different systems.
So you just switch cars for a little while?
No, we only have one car. So
I was going to say you just let her drive it and, you say, hey, how did everything,
Yeah, exactly.
Okay today?
Everything go right, honey?
Right. Just, why don't you take the car today?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, that's if people see us wearing like some different outfits or like suddenly we have like Redcon 1 gear on.
I was thinking the exact same thing just now.
People
want to make a Redcon joke.
We got to pay for Robert's car, so we do what we got to do.
Yes, indeed. Devin, nice to see you two back again. What's up, JoJo? How are you?
Shut up, JoJo.
There we go.
He knows why.
Boy, JoJo's got a message for you right
Yeah, I
there.
bet he does.
Fuck your sensitivity.
Yeah. You know what? I will say this. So JoJo and I were joking back and forth because, he's a big Florida State fan.
Mhm.
And if you're ever going to lose to Florida State, which is unacceptable, like for Miami, but at least it got our athletic director fired, which will then also get our coach fired, which is good because I've been telling you this, like even on our podcast and like in Dick and in private conversations, I'm like, we can fire the coach, but it's not going to matter because it's just going to be another bad coaching search, like after it. So the athletic director got fired the other day, and which is bigger for Miami than their coach getting fired.
Yeah.
There was a big thing. I think I told you it was like a couple weeks ago when Kirk Herbstreit sort of like called out the whole Miami like administration on College Game Day. It was it like reverberated through there pretty badly. So apparently they're ready to reinvest in their football program again because they have like the U Health medical center that's making them like a ton of money and stuff like that. So hopefully, I'm hearing it's either Mario Cristobal or Lane Kiffin is going to be the next coach.
Really? They're going to lure him away from Ole Miss, you think?
Yeah, he already said that he's Lane Kiffin. I don't know, man. Like he's already
such
said,
a
like
slimy, like him and Urban Meyer. I would never
really
want
is.
either of those guys.
He just like he already flat out said like, and now the Miami job is not even available technically. Like the coach hasn't been fired, but he already publicly said that he's interested in it. But so he might just be doing that for his own. But I think like Miami wants Mario Cristobal. Like he's from Miami. He coached at Miami. He played at Miami. Like even though Oregon's in a better spot than Miami is right now, I think if they have the money for him, like he'll go back. He'll go back to Miami. I think that's the choice. But Lane Kiffin would be interesting.
Absolutely.
So anyway, you don't ever want to lose to Florida State, but as long as it gets the dominoes falling in the right direction, because Florida State, they suck. They are bad. And Miami out sucked them. Miami had 3 turnovers in the first quarter. It was like 17-0, like right away. And then Miami still should have won, and then they blew it at the end. It was like 4th and 14, and Florida State picked it up and then scored the winning touchdown. It was all like
it's a shit show.
But it was a good thing.
There we go. Devin, is there a limit to vitamin D that we should consider?
I would take like 3 grams of vitamin D, honestly, anymore. I think that's I mention this all the time. Like that is the thing that we just can't seem to get enough of, and it's causing a lot of problems. I think they're finding more and more. I don't there's always like toxicity and stuff like that with vitamins and stuff. I mean, even people that like live in those climates and take a lot of like vitamin D supplements and stuff still can't reach, where they're supposed to be. So it's a big problem, man. I don't know.
There was something I'm trying to remember. I had heard, I don't know if it was Dr. Rhonda Patrick when she was talking on Joe Rogan's show or somebody else, but some guru on his show recommended, I think 2,000 IUs per like 50 pounds of body weight, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, I mean, that has, average guy taking between 6,000 and 8,000 IUs a day of it. I know the RDA value on your vitamin is 400 IUs. That's nowhere near enough. I mean, that's such a paltry, insufficient amount. Me personally, I take between 4,000 and 6,000 on the days that I remember to take it.
Yeah, there's a Devotion has like a 25,000 IU D3 supplement or something like that. I think it's like one of those things too where the more we've changed, right? The more indoors we are, COVID happens, the whole 9 yards, everybody stays inside. We don't, I think it's going to just keep making things worse and worse and worse. Because as we know too, like the studies and all that stuff are usually way behind sort of where we're at. And now they're like looking more into it because of the whole like COVID link and things like that. So, man, I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't think you can take too much. Like, I'm sure you can, but in general, it's like the creatine conversation where we're like, there's nuance to it, but we're like, just take it. Just take it and, don't worry about it.
You're going to have to do something really stupid or work really hard to hurt yourself with it.
Right. Yeah, and it just seems like even people, like I said, when they do blood work and stuff, that they take D3 supplements, sometimes they still can't, get to that, sort of
Yeah.
level. So
Do you
I think
think
it's a
that's
big
more
problem,
on
man.
the supplement, or is that more on the supplement lacking bioavailability, or something that's wrong with the uptake inside the actual humans?
Yeah, it's probably the uptake, right? It's almost like you're throwing the uh, the solution at it, but it's not getting to where it wants to go, or the body's just not using it appropriately. I think a lot of it is always like that same boring answer of like getting outside and being active.
Yeah.
Sometimes um, I think that there's just certain processes too, like when you exercise and you do certain things. I think that and this is oversimplification and like over generalizing, but whenever you're more active and you're doing things, your body just does its thing like a little bit better. As your
Yeah.
blood's flowing and you have all these processes going on. So if you add in certain things to an active lifestyle, suddenly your body just knows more what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very good points. Jojo, little update in the bodybuilding road. I decided to stop reverse dieting and went into a gain phase at about half a pound a week to 170 pounds. And day 3, I'm at 3,144 calories from 1877. I've lost 1.5 pounds.
Yeah, it's funny how it works out like that.
Trying to hit 3144 with a low calorie mindset of food choices is great for my loving to eat in volume, but at times it is a lot of food.
That's
Yeah.
what I've always struggled with that, man. And there's a lot of like, so we were just having this conversation the other day. Will, who will be at the party from Leviathan,
Mhm.
uh, I remember like last year he was eating like 1,000 to like 1,200 grams of carbohydrates every single day, and he's just eating just cream of rice like nonstop. And I'm just like, I just can't do that. I don't even like one bowl of cream of rice, let alone like 30 of them. It's just too much food, man. So it's like I
Yeah.
can't I can't do that. I can't do that. I've tried, and it makes eating suck. So I'm like, well, why am I doing this? Because it kind of like messes up your whole relationship. But I don't have a bodybuilding goal. Like that would be totally different. But that's a lot of
Yeah.
food. Like
No, I mean, I
if
like
you're
to
eating
be.
nachos, like if you eat some nachos or whatever, that's one thing. Like I had probably 3,100 calories at the Mexican restaurant we went to the other day, but it certainly wasn't anything that your body wants to use.
Yeah. Are you particular about how your nachos are? So, like, do you kind of like it when the nachos are like this ginormous pile and you've got like all the crap on top of it? Or do you want each chip to have like a little bit of beans and a little bit of cheese and then you can go and dip it into salsa, guacamole, sour cream, what have you?
Yeah, I think that you want to have even distribution over sort of like what goes on, to have it
Yeah.
all, basically like having a nucleus of all the chips, and then having the ones in the middle carrying all the weight. That just it doesn't make a
Yeah.
lot of sense to me. No, you got to have evenly distribute the toppings.
Yeah, that's what I was never big on nachos growing up as a kid, but Sandy was like that's her favorite food. Refried beans is like a staple food group for her, and so she makes
I do
nachos.
love refried beans. Beans.
Yeah, and that's what her dinner is most nights. So like she'll sit there and like
Okay, I don't
make
love it that much.
nachos to where she'll paint the chips. She takes like the little mini spatula we have, takes each chip and paints it on there with meticulous effort, and then shaves the
Nice.
cheese very sliced. And I mean she's so we were dating in high school at one point. And we went to like Chili's or Applebee's or something like that, and we ordered the nacho thing as an appetizer because it was us and a couple of our other friends that were dating. And they bring out this giant thing, and she says, "What the hell is this?" She said, "This is disgusting. This isn't like it was those nacho towers, like all the chain
Mm-hmm.
places doing all that stuff." And then I saw that the way that you're supposed to get them at like a real Mexican restaurant, and then they're all
Mm-hmm.
meticulously done and everything.
So there is a phenomenal Mexican restaurant that we will go to when you come up here for the party. Um, it's called Willy Taco. It's like a local place. They have a couple
Okay.
locations now.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it was like where Kristen took me like on our first date when we were here, and like anytime like people come in from out of town, it's where we go. Dude, wait until you have these freaking tacos.
Really taco.
They are amazing.
We're talking
And I
like
know
Mexican street taco style. We're talking puffy taco, crunchy taco. What are we
so
talking?
there are like Mexican street style tacos, but and now this is where it's actually against what I don't like to eat tacos and like have them be like, this is why I like burritos. I don't like making a huge mess. Like I put too much toppings on my taco. I don't like making a huge mess out of my tacos, right? But the way the Willie Taco went is like I'll give you an example. One of the really popular ones, there's this other like spicy chicken, like it's like Nashville style chicken.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the hot chicken stuff.
Yeah, there's another like local restaurant that makes this chicken, these Nashville style chicken tenders. They put these Nashville chicken tenders on a taco. They're huge, like they're massive, and then they put like pimento cheese and like some other. Oh my god, dude, it is so fucking good. I might have to stop there after the gym today, because like everywhere, like everyone has like their Mexican restaurants, and you have the good ones or whatever. Yeah. But every time we bring people to this one here, it's like right down the road from our place. It is
taco. Okay.
So good, and now I definitely need to go get some.
There you go. Well, just put in a few more extra sets there. They just earn those tacos.
I know, right?
Jojo.
Speaking of, we might need some extra glutamine afterwards.
Yeah. Thoughts on glutamine for our digestive health? Is there a best dosage? The studies on it have used upwards of like 30 grams, usually in 10-gram dosages. You're going to need a shit ton of glutamine.
Yeah, I think like people like minimum, you usually see dosages of like 5. The good thing about glutamine, I think glutamine is one of these supplements that, maybe even like a carnitine or something like that, where it's like you took this kind of simple thing that maybe it is good at, and they blew it up into this whole where like, glutamine is this ultimate recovery and repair, and it's the most abundant amino acid in the body, and it's going to do like all these million things, when it's like it's really probably just good for gut health. And if we just keep it that way, because your body, your gut kind of uses it up before it gets to its intended target, but it does seem to have like some good like repair. And people anecdotally and it's cheap. That's kind of where I was going with it. Is glutamine is like really cheap, so it's kind of one of those low risk kind of supplements to try. And I know people, especially women, they usually have like a little bit more like digestive issues. They add it in there, but it's like one of those ones, like if you keep the expectations, like what JoJo's doing, keep expectations, or suddenly it becomes a viable product, especially for its price.
Yeah, I'd agree 100% with that.
Like at one point in time, it just became this miracle powder in a bottle because it's involved in so many processes in the body. Mm-hmm. But as we know, that doesn't mean that you supplement with it and it all works out. So I like glutamine. Like I kind of turned on it for a little while because of all the marketing and hype, but then, you dig down to it, and I do seem to think like some high dosage, which still is reasonably priced, seems to be pretty good.
You could put it in the same light as kind of collagen. Like collagen does have its use and the avenues, by which you can use it. So, hair, skin, nails, collagen, joint support, great. I'm not going to tout collagen as a great muscle building protein because it's an incomplete protein.
Not, right?
Same thing with glutamine. It can be beneficial for gut health, some immune health, but it's not a great muscle builder. It's not a great recovery agent. It does help with glycogen replenishment to a certain degree, but it's not like on par with creatine or just like carbohydrates in general in terms of like pure muscle building power and muscle repair, recovery, glycogen replenishment, and all of that stuff. So
I agree. Collagen is pretty expensive compared to glutamine. Like, collagen is expensive. It's crazy what, like the vital proteins and stuff like that, what people pay for that. Mm-hmm. I like collagen a lot too, but it's kind of one of those supplements that I'm like, for like the same kind of thing, like why we always talk about creatine. It's like for bang for your buck type supplements, it's at the top of the list. Whereas like collagen, I like it, and there probably is some good benefits you're getting from it, but it's like at what cost, kind of thing. It's like suddenly it starts to not look as good, on paper.
Yeah. So that's avoid the muscle building hype on glutamine, but go all in for it for the gut health stuff is definitely that's fairly decent evidence on it.
Well, and like to JoJo's point, if it helps him feel better eating, a bunch more food, to therefore build more muscle suddenly,
Yeah.
becomes, maybe an important part of. It's kind of like, we mentioned Leviathan earlier. He came out with that GI support product, and it really came from him. You'll see too. I don't know if he's going to be in the same type of phase when he comes here this year, but literally he ate the whole entire time we were here, or he was here for like 3 days last time, and he was bulking, and he just ate nonstop, and that just wrecks your system. You know what I mean? It's not good for you. Like, nobody wants to do that. So he developed that GI support product that he has, and it really helped him, just keep consuming more and more food. So suddenly, and not damaging, the GI system. There's like some repair kind of stuff going on there. So all goes hand in hand, right? All supplemental of each other.
Yeah, I'm going to pull that up real quick since we're on this subject, because we haven't talked about Will and Leviathan in a while.
It's killer, man. Because that funny story, I think people know, like, by now. Like, we work really closely with Will, and he says Will's got some very expensive formulas, and being that we consult for him, there's times where we're like, Will, can you please just not make it as expensive? Like, it would help, for growth. And he tries, but he can't do it. Like he said, when it came to this formula here, he's like, I just want to come up with something, just a more simple, like approachable for everyone kind of, gut health kind of product. And I said, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Kind of talked to him about some things we had seen out there. I know he worked with Joey on this one too. Joey from Glaxon kind of talked to him about a few things. And then next thing you know, he comes back with this. It's not a long ingredient list, but these are some stupid expensive ingredients.
Well, yeah, a bunch of these are, except for the licorice and the zinc, everything else is a trademark ingredient or a branded ingredient.
Yeah, the zinc is the pepsin GI. So it is.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. You're right. That is that. I haven't seen that yet. Only and if it's a dipeptide where it's actually bonded together like that, that's gonna definitely jack up the cost of it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it's also like, I tell people this too. This kind of ties in is people take gut health products too much, right? You shouldn't have to like rely on something like this unless it's unless your doctor basically like tells you, and so you get a $54.99 price tag. But for example, if I take Will take 2 caps of this product like 3 times a day. If I take one once, like, I notice it. Like, I don't have like GI issues or anything like that, but so it's kind of one of those like adjustable where the price tag is like here, but then it's like, well, how do you use it? And then how long are you using it? You probably shouldn't be using a product like this every single day for 6 months straight, right? It's something else probably is going on there. And the other problem that I always see with like probiotics and GI support products and stuff like that, besides being too broad and like general, they don't really. We're learning more about what specifically some of these probiotic strains do. But one of the issues, and this isn't a brand problem, this is a consumer problem. As like everything else, consumers look at this as, oh, this is why I am overweight, because of my gut health, because I don't have enough probiotics or stuff like that. So they start to take this stuff as a weight loss tool, when that's just really that's not how these products like should be used. So it's like people are always looking for a reason why. It can't be the caloric surplus or deficit that they're not adhering to or whatever. It's got to be something else. So I think that's why we've seen this massive rush of cheap kind of blanket weird probiotic stuff, because it's just another weight loss tool. And then Will made this one, where this one's more designed to repair the GI tract, help protect it, inflammation, stuff like that. So it's really cool, and people love this one.
Who is making New Biome? Because I know Core Biome is from Compound. Is that NNB or is that somebody else?
I don't remember. Good question. I don't remember.
Let's see.
Yeah, Core Biome is
NNB,
compound.
yeah.
NNB. Super cool ingredient too. Really, really cool ingredient.
No. Okay. The ever-expanding world of gut health.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that that's what we're kind of seeing too. I know Glaxon. I've seen some things that they're looking into when it comes to, and Caged did something like this where you're isolating these specific strains, and they're able to see rather than like carpet bombing your GI system.
Yeah.
It's like this. It's like their that phage technology that Will uses in his one, where it's like it only targets like bad bacteria rather than like going in and like clearing you out of
Yeah.
like even the good bacteria. Yeah, Prefer Pro. You're seeing more like specialized gut health things, and I think you'll continue to see that, which is really cool because that's always why I've been like hesitant because I'm like, because I know like when I started to take products like this, I was literally like creating issues for myself.
Yeah.
Like then I would start having like GI issues and all this sort of stuff that I wasn't necessarily having before. It's because a lot of this stuff was just going in there and just basically cleaning me out. And it's like I'm not looking for I'm looking to improve gut health. I'm not looking for like to be like cleaned out like an enema or something.
Yeah. Interesting. I haven't come across this Prefer Pro before. I'm gonna have to go and dig into that. Interesting. I'm not working on any gut health stuff currently, and I haven't had a bunch of requests for, but that's just kind of one of those areas where my knowledge is lacking.
Yeah, it's I tell you what. Well, I think everyone's knowledge is lacking. Like I remember talking to people. This is their life, and they they don't fully understand this stuff. It's like what their specialization is, and it's like, but it is cool, man. It is really cool. There was I think was the first time where we really saw some interesting stuff. It was Joey Supplement Lab when we did a podcast with them. I think it was their immunity. They had the ARC Immune supplement, and he was basically talking about how this phage, the phage technology, and they were showing how it works and how it goes in there and scavenges certain like bad bacteria and stuff like that. And I was like, you hear about this stuff and you read about it, but they were actually showing like videos and stuff like that. It was pretty fascinating. And it's one of their products that doesn't get a lot of hype, but it's a really cool one.
Yeah. There's the bacteriophages that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super neat stuff. And I think he talked a little bit about this kind of thing at supply side. I didn't get to see it, but I think there's like more stuff from them coming like this like next year when it comes to these like strains. Anyway,
Cool.
super cool stuff.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
They're always on top of things over there, which is cool.
How do I get some supplement snacks?
Well, you can't. Supplement snacks is mine, but if you mean the products that she makes, yeah, she's working on some stuff.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Core Gut has helped me so much just after 2 days. That's one of their new Lifeline products that they just released, isn't it? Or is that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we were just there Tuesday. We went to visit their. They moved into a new facility in North Carolina. They're about 2 hours away from us. Yeah. And they have like their Crush It Coliseum, their gym that they opened up like for the community. And that Lifeline series is fantastic. It is. They got some cool products, and yeah, gut is one of them.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I believe Kenton has gone. He's not with Core anymore. I wonder if he had a hand in that, or was that Doug and the rest of the team? Like, I'm sure they all chip in. Was that one of the last things he did before he left?
From what I know, this is. I don't know. Do you know Dave from over there? Dave.
No, I've just talked with Doug and Kenton.
So Dave, he is the one that sort of created he started the core ball thing, like as in his kitchen kind of thing, and it turned into like a whole project for them.
Yeah.
But from what I know, Dave is the one that formulated it, and Doug also. They're killer, man. They're cool. The formulas are awesome. Not trying to touch
I
the
was, yeah, I'm not trying to touch the squeeze with the snap.
That's funny.
Comment of the day, JoJo.
Right?
You get to be the one that is the next sponsor of the podcast to help repay our automotive bills.
Yeah. Robert needs if we can get Firestone to sponsor us.
Yeah, Firestone. We'll get Firestone and G Fuel and Insane Labs, and that'll work. That's big money.
Speaking of G Fuel, well, in that vein, so we got Klaxon Goon, the gaming supplement, right?
Yep.
And this is kind of cool too, because people are always like, they'll ask you the same thing. I'm sure it's sort of like what's the best pre-workout, right? Now people are like, so what nootropic should I use? Well, now it's like gotten so specific, and the whole point I'm getting at is I got 2 gaming supplements basically over like the last week, and they could not be any more different for like what you would want to do. I got Goon Mode, and then Ninja sent me their new gaming supplement. The formula has not been released yet, but it is much higher energy, much higher. So Goon Mode is pretty low stim, and you get more of a. I love it. It's a lot of fun, but it's like I said, it's only 62.5 caffeine. It's meant to be taken like 2 scoops to 4 scoops at a time. Yeah. But so that's why there's 60 servings in it. But then, like I said, there's people, this, there's your Goon modes, and then there's your overtimes. There's Correct. Your Ghost Gamers, and then, there's drastically different approaches to nootropics these days.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's I like the inclusion of Brain Factor in here, because the only other one I'd ever seen that one was from
super cool.
Was Neutral, that came out probably 5 or 6 years ago from Black Lion Research, I think BLR. Neutral. Yeah. And I really like that. And they were also using a higher standardization of salidroside in their capsules as well. I think I still have a few capsules in the bottle left in the pantry over there. But yeah, overall, it's like this is what Shane and I were talking about over this weekend. We were kind of going through some different nootropic stuff. Is that when you're gaming, it's like you look at the G Fuel is crushing it on the gaming front. Like they are the optimum Cellucor C4, whatever you want to call it, of the gaming industry. And you look at the profile and you go, eh. I mean, it's 140 mgs of caffeine. It's got a little bit of tyrosine in it and taurine and some antioxidants. There's not a whole lot to like, and you compare it to something fully blown like you said, Ghost Gamer or Orange Brainwash, Overtime, any of those things. The labels couldn't be far the difference. But sometimes, do you want something that's going to get you so zoned in bliss, or do you just need like a little bump here or there to kind of get your mind right? It all kind of depends.
Well, and to G Fuel's credit, they got in on this before it was a thing. Like they really were trendsetters. Like I would never personally buy G Fuel, but you as a looking at them as a brand, you have to be like give them credit. I mean, they took on a category that wasn't really, and now you see a lot of people sort of. This is kind of like, and we get into this too, where it's like, okay, there's certain brands just like that one. If someone were to ask me, like, Justin, what do you think about G Fuel? I would say, don't waste your money on it, right? But at the same time, G Fuel sort of opened up this category for a lot of these brands that are making products now. Yeah. And it's not an excuse for a company to make like a shitty formula, but somebody has to, kind of open this world up a little bit. And you can't really do that if you're spending $20 on a formula and then you have no way to market it. So it's kind of one of those things where I think like most people are deeper in the space and know that there's like really good products. Like it's good because it attracts new customers to the space. And then hopefully you're able to, through education and awareness, show them that there's other options. And then, not just what they're, shown like, sponsored ads, and they go, oh, wow, there is other things. And then like in this one, Glaxon's been using that English Ivy. It's like a reuptake inhibitor, and everything that they've been putting that in. We actually tried some standalone and then used it with, so we took the Brain Awake from Natural Science Creation and then some English Ivy and used each one and then used them together, and suddenly the Brain Awake, it's non-stim, but it became just too strong with the English
Huh.
Ivy. So there's definitely something going on with that English Ivy that feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw the ingredient profile pop up, the only thing I could really find in it was that it's good for respiratory health and it's helped with some, bronchodilation in cases of bronchitis, just in traditional medicine. So the reuptake inhibitor avenue is interesting. I'm gonna have to go down that rabbit hole, and see
Yeah,
what they got
because
there.
that's what's another nice thing why we appreciate Klaxon so much is
Yeah,
they can point us to some things like that, and then suddenly you're like, oh, okay, like now that
yeah,
makes sense. And then Glaxon, another reason why we love them is then they'll just be like, here, let me send you some, and you try it, and
yeah.
you're like, oh shit. Did you see
Nice.
what they're doing? I posted in the group, but they one of the people that they just talk a lot in the space. There was some kind of thing about natural versus synthetic caffeine that popped
Uh
up.
huh.
And so Joey basically issued a challenge. He's like, I'm going to send, it started off with 10 people, and now I think it's up to like 100. He's like, I'm going to send you 300 milligrams of synthetic caffeine and 300 milligrams of natural caffeine.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's going to be blind. And he's like, and I want to see, what everybody thinks. Like, is there a difference and stuff like that? So that'll be interesting. They're doing it in the group too. So that'd be a lot of fun. I think
Cool.
because there's a whole thing with natural versus synthetic caffeine. I think personally, natural caffeine is a marketing tactic, but
Yeah, it's more natural, so it's more just like the party line is that it's smoother, it's longer lasting, less jittery. I don't really know if I buy into all of that.
I mean, there's some things like if you take like a caffeine citrate or whatever, it's definitely not
Yeah,
smooth,
right.
or like anhydrous is a little, more punchy in the face, but that's
Yeah,
you're manipulating the synthetic caffeine even to like a little bit further of a level. So this will be interesting because
yeah.
because I know Joey wasn't like too thrilled about uh, some thought leading statements that were in this space, and
Some
he's
men of
like
science shooting their
he's
mouth
like so
off.
so I'll just say let's do it, like screw it, like let's have some fun with this and see what happens. So I always appreciate those guys. They're always doing
Yeah.
some fun stuff.
Holy shit. Last on this, and then we can move on to the other thing. The Vitacholine. I'm interested. I'm curious that they didn't go with their cholinase blend of the 3 different cholines for this. I find that interesting.
That's a good question because I don't think that I've seen them use that in any of their new stuff.
Was it
That was
in thermal? Was
so.
it in thermal?
I think the new one they used Colonase in their like season one, version one.
Yeah, there we go.
They've switched over to Vitacholine and all their like season two stuff.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I
Interesting.
don't know if they. I don't know what happened there. I can
Hmm.
just ask Michael, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I saw that the what you call it, the brain fart Ninja is going to release a gaming supplement, but I haven't seen the profile like you said.
I have
But
right here.
I liked the other stuff I've tried for them.
It's
The pre workout is good. The aminos taste delicious. The protein powder tastes delicious.
yeah.
Um,
This is what do I have? A raspberry sherbet flavor. It's good.
ooh,
And like I said, it's full send. It's strong. It's but not like I saw the ingredient panel. It's
yeah,
still being like unwrapped. It's not overtime
hmm,
like strength,
yeah,
but it is very much like it's gonna light you up kind of thing. So whatever you're sort of going for, right? There's options. Like I said, I would put it on like the opposite end of the spectrum as Goon, where
hmm,
Goon is very like feels good, very like chill, but this one is very like let's wake you up and get you going. Like right, I you could use this as a pre workout for sure. Just feeling what I felt from it, like drinking some this morning.
hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, I could take this and go to the gym for sure. So.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't tried that. The caffeine-free nootropic we've tried from them was really good. The pre-workout was solid. I haven't tried the sleep aid that Kristen's bringing up here, but I've heard some good stuff about it.
Yeah, it's got a decent dose of Phenibut. I want to say like 500 milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. But yeah, she uses it sometimes.
Cool. Let's transition to some bourbon talk.
I opened up Weller Full Proof last night.
How was that? What is the proof on it? 120?
Yeah, I can't remember. I didn't even look.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's strong.
All right. Weller Full Proof, Buffalo Trace Distillery. And you can see some of the secondary prices for this this bottle of Weller Full Proof.
Yeah. I just wanted it, and I didn't ask what the price was. I just grabbed it.
Proof weighted bourbon. Give me something to go on here.
It is not a cheap date. It is very hard to find.
$655. Good God.
I didn't pay
114 proof. There we go.
Yeah. It's strong, but it's tasty at the same time. It had some neat, and then threw an ice cube in there. And it was, I don't know, like you knew what you were drinking, that's for sure. But it still had like the good flavor behind it. It wasn't like you got some of the jet fuel, kind of thing, but you also got like actual like flavor to it. So that's one that bottle will last a while. Just because I don't think you would, because then we had some Blantons afterwards, and it was like just so drastically different. So much like, but this one's still smooth, just also very strong at the same time. So yeah, super impressed.
Did you like this one more than the 1792 Sweet Wheat?
Very different.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very, very different to me. I guess maybe I'll have to try them both at the same time when you come up here. Maybe we'll just because I still have some Sweet Wheat left, and I have some of this. And
yeah, I mean, I know they're both high octane wheated bourbons. That's why I was wondering if they even taste remotely similar. But I know they're very different distilleries too. So
yeah, I remember like Sweet Wheat being just not as like not having that punch that Full Proof did, even though it's like high proof. But yeah, we'll try it out. Like I said, I'll still have some, and Lord knows what I'll pick up between now and then either, because they have the place that I got this. They also have a bottle of the CYPB Weller, create your own barrel pick barrel, and that one is like twice as expensive as the Full Proof. And I was just like, man, I can't justify that, but never know.
Hey, this is a cheaper one. It's only $200 for this bottle of Blanton's.
Yeah,
I've seen like $300, $350 at some other spots.
It's just too much for Blanton's, man. I mean, Blanton's is definitely one of my favorites, but that's just too much for it.
Yeah. Have you ever had any Michter's? I've heard good things, especially about their toasted one. I've just never tried it.
I've had that one right there, actually, I think. It was good. Yeah, I liked it. Okay. I remember like trying it, and at first I was kind of, and this was still like earlier on in me drinking bourbon, I was kind of like, but then I ended up like really like coming around to it.
Yeah. We're heading into New Orleans next week for Thanksgiving. And I asked my sister if she wanted me to check out anything or pick up anything for them, just to see like our liquor selection is different than what they get down there. And they have a Costco right next to them. So I'm going to tell her to go maybe try and get some of the Kirkland bottled in bond, since that comes from the 1792 Barton Distillery. But I told her we can get some Booker's around us, and they haven't found it around them. So I'm going to get them a bottle of this. Now, it was not $119 as it is here on the thing. It was only $80 for us here. This is another Full Proof bourbon. I think each batch is a little bit different, but the one I had, it was 120 proof. I sent you that picture on 4th of July when we were at that guy's house or the family's house.
I think I have some Kirkland bottle and bond here.
26 proof. Uncut, unfiltered. It was I enjoyed it, but I had also had 3 old fashions before I tried this on 4th of July. So yeah, I don't know. I like the stuff that comes out of Jim Beam Distillery, specifically the Knob Creek and the Knob Creek cask strength. They're single barrel ones. Booker's is good. I haven't tried the Little Book, but that's a little harder to find, I think.
Yeah, I know I've had this, but I think it was a while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going in to New Orleans. We're leaving next Wednesday, so we're going to either, for the podcast, we're either going to have to do it next Tuesday or just table it a week. And
yeah, we can do it on Tuesday.
Okay. We can do that. But yeah, I've been requested to bring in my old-fashioned kit to Sandy's house. They said, we need you to bring cranberry sauce and stuff to make old-fashioned. So
check
I know.
my...
the party will be good for Wednesday and Thursday when we're at Sandy's house, and then Friday and Saturday at my parents' house. They're not big drinkers, but my uncle is a Jack fan, specifically Gentleman Jack, so I might bring some single barrel Jack Daniels and see if I can get him onto that. Or the Evan, like he also likes Evan Williams, so I might bring him the Evan Williams bottled in bond, or maybe a single barrel or something like that, so we can try it.
Yeah, I can do Tuesday. We have a thing at 10:30. And that's it. We opened up. I kind of knew this was going to happen, but Brady and I have been doing a lot of Amazon stuff. We're just focusing like hardcore Amazon, and we opened up a calendar link for people to schedule like a free sort of meeting with us. Yeah, that was
a mistake.
Not a mistake, but I was like, oh fuck. So. Anyway, we just so my calendar's gotten weird. It's like weird, there's like a lot of like weird times. But next Tuesday should work out just fine. Maybe like even if we do it like in the early afternoon, like today ended up, we can knock that out.
Yeah, this time for work next Tuesday.
I forgot next week is like Thanksgiving, so
yeah. So we're trying to figure out this one. Sandy and I haven't done our solo Q&A in a couple of weeks just because I was out of town, and then. She's been slammed with her grad school class stuff, doing all of that. Plus, we had parents in town, so that kind of jumbled up the schedule. So I have a feeling we'll pick up, her and I'll pick up after Thanksgiving, and then we'll see what we're going to do with the Final Scoop guys. We'll maybe be doing it Saturday during the day when I'm in New Orleans. We'll figure that out. I got to touch base with them and see.
Yeah, we ended up, I went up to Virginia last weekend. We had a Murderer's Row of bourbon last weekend, that's for sure. It was like
anything you hadn't tried before that you got to try for the first time?
No, it was just like some of the best kind of stuff. The Eagle Rare, the Blantons, the McKenna, Weller. The whole what we usually like to drink. But I did. What did we do? It was he wanted me to do a Bell Mead. He wanted Kristen and I to do like a Bell Mead taste test.
Mm-hmm.
There was Bell Mead, the sherry, and then Bell Mead cognac.
Yeah, that sounds right. Those bottles are on the upper end of stuff, like $60 to $80 a bottle, depending on where you live and which ones you find and stuff like that. Yeah,
usually see them for like $65, $75 or something like that.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually real wild about either one. I think the sherry one I really didn't care for. Like it wasn't. It was fine, but it's not something that I would definitely buy other things before. The sherry, I was like, the cognac one, I think it was pretty sure it was cognac. I was like, that was pretty good, but not like. And I remember trying them before too, and I said the same kind of thing because I knew they were like really hyped and a lot of people talk them up, and it's like,
just kind of iffy.
Yeah, like I said, not bad, but I was like, didn't really do it for me.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm hoping to see. I don't know if we'll see if I pick up another bottle or two what my sister can grab from Costco. I need to let her know because that'll give her time between work and family obligations to go scoot down to Costco and do some scoping, or her husband can because he's big, but he's more of a Scotch guy. He likes bourbon, but more Scotch than anything. So
I'm still trying, but
yeah,
there's just so much good bourbon, man. It's
why
force yourself to like something that you don't necessarily like when it's like there's just so much good bourbon. Those like the Weller SR that you sent me, dude, that
Mhm.
stuff's so good. And for
Oh, yeah.
$25 a bottle or whatever you get it for,
Goes down
it's
like candy.
So
Agreed.
yeah,
Cool.
man. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll figure it out next week. Maybe next Tuesday afternoon we can
Okay.
do something.
All right, man. That works. You got anything else before we put wrapping paper on this and send it out the door?
No, I think we're good to go.
Okay. All right, listeners, tune in. Thank you for joining and participating. If you're catching this on replay, make sure to leave a comment down below for any topics of future conversation between me and Supplement Snoop here on the Bourbon Brothers. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video with family and friends, and leave us a 5-star review in whatever podcast perusing platform that you are subscribed to. That helps us climb up in the almighty algorithm that dictates anything and everything to which we are exposed these days. It's good seeing your face again after a week layoff, my man, and we'll figure out what we're going to do next week.
All right, brother. We will be in touch for sure.
Bye.